What's good, everybody? It is Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. A lot of twos. This is the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not even close. I talked about on the show yesterday how we're in a lull right now. We're in that time between the NFL and March Madness where it's really hard to get motivated, but that's why we are here and we're doing it for you. But even we have to pivot. Even we have to evolve and change and make decisions, and I'm happy to do that. This is our show from yesterday. Thank goodness for Chip coming through again. I'm going with odd hands. I'm going with the guys and the ladies that I feel bring the most energy during this time. So with that being said, look who I brought to the table today. Look at the stars of the show today, because I'm telling you right now that we hear you. I'm telling you right now, I hear you. And I'm going to bring the guys that want to be on the show every single day. And that's why I have these four. So first, I would be remiss if I didn't introduce from just south of London, England, the guru, Martin W. Green. Good morning. No. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Coach. 3 p.m. here, just south of London, England. And we've got some huge Champions League games to look forward to tonight, which I'm very excited about breaking down with you, fine gentlemen.
Well, I can see that you are all kinds of excited. You shaved, you got a haircut. I think that my man Buckets has been pushing you a little bit, and I'm here for it. Buckets, get after. No. Good morning, sir. I'm sorry, I'm all thrown off. What's good, man?
Good morning, Coach. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad that I could be a positive influence on the guru as we move forward here today. Like he said, we've got some fantastic Champions League matches. We also have, not quite as important in the grand scheme of things, but a great Turkish Super League match today. So I'm excited for some good soccer today.
Do you know one place, Buckets, that they've never said it's not as important? The pay window.
The pay window.
The tickets cash just the same. Now, a place where they cash a lot of tickets is Las Vegas. And that's where we find our next capper, who I love so much, Zach Attack. Zach Simony, good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, yesterday's show play, Penn State was close, did not come through, but I did cash both site plays. And that's the thing, being on the West Coast. I'll have an early play that I kind of have a lean on sometimes, and it depends after I break down the board further if I'm going to finalize that play on the site. So watch this picks I give out right now, and then look for the picks I put on the site here in a couple hours.
Say all the time, at Simony on Twitter. Also, become a SportsLine member. It's literally the best deal you can have in all sports betting. Educate and entertain. Come on, you can't do any better than that. And we just added this man to SportsLine. So if Zach wasn't enough, which he should be, this man should just tip it over. Chip Patterson, good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, everyone. And just to build off what Zach just said, here on the show yesterday, we broke everything down for Arizona State, the way that Arizona State plays, Arizona State's history with UCLA, and we locked it in on the show at 14.5. That line closed at 13.5. Final margin, 14. Watch live here on the Early Edge so that you can get the winning numbers.
I don't need to say anything other than that, because Chip just did it for me. I'm telling you today, we're flipping the script. We're flipping the script. We don't let people get us down. We don't let that happen. Thank you, Chip. Now, let's get into storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And where do I start? Where should I start? I think I want to start with the game that's going to start the earliest from right now, and that's in Turkey. In Turkey, Buckets, start us off. What do you got?
Let's do it, Coach. Today we have Istanbul Başakşehir playing Konyaspor. This game is at noon Eastern time here. It is two of the top teams in all of Turkish Super League. And fun fact here, Turkey actually has 2 UCL Champions League spots available every year to the top 2 teams. So the motivation in Turkey is there just as it is in Germany, England, or Spain. Konyaspor is currently second. They are one of the most dominant teams in all of Turkey. They kind of got what we usually go for here with... Never mind. I'm not giving my bet. I caught myself. I'm not giving my bet, Coach.
Look at you learning. Look at you learning.
Sorry. I caught it.
No,
we're fine.
It's okay, man. It's all right. It's all right. It's all about baby steps with you. It's okay. You're going to be here for a very, very long time. Now, I'm going to do a little solid for you. Look straight into the camera. Do not look left. Do not look right.
All right.
If you can spell the second half of the Istanbul team, I will give you $100. Basak, sir, spell it for me.
BASASKH.
Martin had it. Martin, can you do it?
BASAKSEHIR.
Buckets. That's embarrassing.
I'm embarrassed.
$100, and you just let it walk out the door. Martin, thank you for always having my back.
You're welcome.
Thank you for always having my back. Now, speaking of having backs, Chelsea has been a little Jekyll and Hyde this year. We don't know which team that we're going to get. Thank goodness I can come to the guru who will have an answer for me. Martin, talk to me.
You're right, Coach. Chelsea has been Jekyll and Hyde this season, but they've been very strong in knockout competitions, been inconsistent in the Premier League, but in knockout competitions, they're doing great. They're in the EFL Cup final at the weekend. They're still going strong in the FA Cup. They recently won the Club World Cup, and they won all 3 Champions League home games in the group stage. So Stamford Bridge is a bit of a fortress in Europe. They are the reigning European champions after all. So they're expected to win this game. They're the clear favourites, and deservedly so. Lille did win the Ligue 1 title last year in France, but their manager left immediately afterwards, and it's all been downhill since then. Lille is currently languishing in mid-table in Ligue 1, whereas Chelsea's still in the upper echelons of the Premier League, which is a much stronger league, and it's the home team. So Chelsea really should capitalise on this opportunity.
If there is one place I don't want to be for very long, it's the mid-table. It's the mid-table. Damn it, I want to be you when I grow up. Now, we will get to those soccer picks momentarily, but we have a whole bunch of college basketball going on here in the States. You see how I broke the show up today? We got 2 for soccer. I have 2 for college basketball. That's how we evolve. Now, Zach, I'm coming to you because you live in the heart of Mountain West country. What do you got?
Well, first off, the Mountain West has been great this year. Jerry Palomy's projecting 4 teams in to March Madness, and usually it's a joke to see these teams get in. The prop is very low. Will the Mountain West win over 1.5 games in the March Madness? And it usually doesn't hit, but I'm saying this year it will. You've got 4 great teams: Colorado State, San Diego State, Boise State, and Wyoming. So keep an eye on those teams. But tonight there are 2 key matchups that I want to touch on: Nevada and UNLV. This is a rematch of one of the most, if you were following pregame on the first matchup, 2 players were ruled out in the warm-up line. I know Matt Severance was all over it. The line moved from 2.5 to 6, and UNLV destroyed him because Warren Washington and Grant Sheffield were ruled out. I know Sheffield is back, so this should be more of a competitive game. And then San Diego State, Boise State. You want to talk about an ugly first matchup. The final score was 42-37. Boise State, they scored a basket to get to 35 points at the 10:30 mark. Did not make another bucket until 30 seconds left when Marcus Shaver made the game-winning 3-point shot. So that I'm going to be watching both of those games. Those are the spotlight games I'm going to be eyeing tonight.
Can you imagine having bet the over in that Boise State game? Is there anything worse than betting it over and look at the score and it's 20-20 at halftime? You're like, what did I do? What did I do? Now, the other night, Arkansas cashed for us on the money line against Tennessee because they are really, really, really good at home. And we saw this year when they beat number 1 Auburn at home, it's a great home court advantage. But Chip, they're not playing at home this time. What do you got?
We've got an Arkansas roster full of players that has not been alive since Arkansas has won a home game at Florida. That's right. The Stephen O'Connell Center, the AKA the O-Dome, is an absolute house of horrors for the Hogs. The 16 out of 19 straight wins for Florida against Arkansas in Gainesville, 14 straight losses. The last time that Arkansas won in Gainesville was in February of 1995. Creep was number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, RIP Left Eye. And like I mentioned, no one on this Arkansas roster was even born. So as we're looking at this game, it's right around pick. Florida needs it for their NCAA tournament futures. It is a very interesting, motivational, situational position where Arkansas traditionally cannot win in Gainesville. I think they're the better team on a neutral court. But this game ain't on a neutral court.
It ain't on a neutral court. Hey, Martin, is Creep in your playlist right now? Would Creep be on your No?
I listen to it every day just to get myself motivated. Yeah, and I love the House of Horrors for the Hogs. That was just alliterative, beautiful. Oh, I'm blown away. I'm speechless.
Maybe that's what we need to create a segment where Chip talks and then Martin does the translation for the European fans.
Well, I
think that would be hilarious.
I thought he was going to hit me with Radiohead Creep because, of course, I was referencing TLC Creep.
Yes.
Radiohead Creep, equally awesome song, both in their own rights, very different lanes. But, in the Creep power rankings, it's a big debate for 1A and 1B.
It
I would
really
be
is.
Team Radiohead. I think. I thought that's what you were talking about.
I was talking about TLC.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Look at this. Only on a sports betting show would you have a discussion about Radiohead and TLC. That never happens anywhere else.
Transatlantic music talk and winners here on the Early Edge. Let's go.
Chip, you got to stop. Right now, Bucket's head is going, what am I doing?
I have no
what
idea.
Am I doing? He has no idea
I have no idea what's going on.
Anybody under 25 has no idea what's going on right now. But we love you all. We love you all. All right, let's get into our board for the day. And by the way, I love surfing social media for good, positive messages, and I routinely will retweet them on my timeline. I just did that with Tom Izzo. He was asked about the whole handshaking incident with Juwan Howard and Wisconsin and all that. He had an incredible answer. Go look for it on my timeline. But our free play today from SportsLine. We're going to go Michigan State and Iowa. We're going to go with the Hawkeyes -5.5. They are terrific at home. This game tips at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Iowa is 60% against the spread as a home favorite this season. We'll take the points. Michigan State very, very up and down so far this year. All right. Now, it's time to get into our boards for the day. And because the soccer starts so quickly, we're going to go soccer first. And Buckets, I think you understand how important the first spot of the show is. So, without a scarf, without purple hair, what do you got for us today? Well, I guess it is still kind of purple.
A little purple.
Okay. You're up.
All right, Coach, we are going to take that Turkey Super League match. We are going to run BTTS. Yes, both teams to score, our favorite bet. We've got two of the highest scoring teams in all of Turkey. Their last 5 head-to-head matches have all hit BTTS. And in their last 5 league games, both teams have scored. No problem. Konyaspor, who is the slightly better team here, is going to be missing their best defender as well due to a booking suspension. So I'm expecting a very open, very high-scoring matchup here in Turkey.
Fantastic. Do you have a second pick, perhaps, that you would like to give out on the show? Oh, you would?
I would like to share my second.
You're allowed to continue. You are allowed to continue.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Our second pick is going to be one that I am going... composed. I'm composed.
It's all good, man. Hey, funnier the better. Let's go.
All right, we are going to be going to Champions League. This is one I'm actually going to be tailing the guru on here. We both agree with this pick, and he's going to go into it as well. But it is the Juventus-Villarreal game. It is both teams to score yes as well on that at -110. Juventus is a little bit injury-ridden right now, but they are a team that has been dominating in kind of a sloppy Serie A so far. They've managed to score in 15 of their last 16 matches, and Villarreal has no trouble scoring either. So expecting BTTS on that one as well.
Would you, if it's 2.5, because they score so much, would you lean into the over, or do you just like the 2 goals to be scored today?
I just like the 2 goals to be scored because I could see a 1-to-1 type of matchup here where if somebody does take the lead, they kind of just want to park the bus and slow down a little bit.
And that is how Juventus has been playing this year a little bit.
Absolutely.
You're spot on. I've been doing my own soccer handicapping lately. So I do know that much at least. Now, it's always nice. Buckets, well done today by you. Well done today by you. You're quickly becoming one of my favorites. Now, Martin, whenever we have the validation that you're backing a pick, hey, I'm all ears. Give it to me.
Yes, so I have broken this game down on SportsLine with 2 picks. I went for Villarreal, Juventus, both teams to score at -110, and also went for Villarreal draw no bet at -120. Like Bucket said, Juventus are missing several key players ahead of this trip to Spain. Giorgio Chiellini, Daniel Rugani, both key defenders, are missing. Leonardo Bonucci is also a doubt. So it's an injury-ravaged Juventus defence, which doesn't bode particularly well. They also have some problems in attack with Chiesa, Bernardeschi and Dybala also injured. So they could lack a little bit of creativity in attack. But I'm with Buckets. I still think they have enough quality to get on the score sheet. But this is a golden opportunity for Villarreal to win or at least get a draw in this first leg clash. They're at home. They're a good team in knockout competitions. They're actually the Europa League holders. They beat Arsenal and Man United, en route to winning the Europa League last season. So they're a good team, very disciplined, very organised. I can see them getting maybe a 1-1 draw here, maybe a 2-1 win. So those were my two picks. Villarreal draw no bet and Villarreal Juventus, both teams to score. There's two Champions League games to look forward to tonight. I already mentioned the first one, which is Chelsea hosting Lille at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea are missing some key players through injury, but their first choice midfielders are all available and they have lots of attacking options, so they really should win this game. Their home record in the Champions League is impeccable. They beat Zenit St. Petersburg 1-0, Juventus 4-0 and Malmo 4-0. Now Lille have a 38-year-old Jose Fonte playing at centre-back. He's never been the quickest and he may lack the mobility to deal with the likes of Lukaku, Pulisic, Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech. So Chelsea win to 0 does look appealing, but Lille do have a dangerous striker, the Canadian guy, Jonathan David. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. So I've gone for Chelsea minus 1.25 Asian handicap because I can see them winning this one by 2 clear goals.
And in the chat, Thomas has a quick question. He says, anyone have an opinion on Chelsea? Well, we got that right there, but also on both teams to score. Martin, your thoughts on that?
I'm actually leaning towards Chelsea to win to 0 because they kept a clean sheet at home against Juventus, Malmo and Zenit St. Petersburg. They have a rock-solid defence in the Champions League. I'm always a bit concerned, like I said, about the pace of Jonathan David in attack for Lille. He's very dangerous, but personally, I'd be leaning more towards Chelsea keeping a clean sheet than both teams scoring in this one.
There you go. You get real-time analysis right here on the early edge. Now, Zach Attack has, I don't think, been handicapping Malmo as of late. I think you've been sticking with the Mountain West mostly. But today, I see, count them, two picks that I love. Zach, you're up.
All right, Coach, and both of these plays will go on the site. I might have a third as well, but we're going to start in the MAC. Buffalo -5 against Miami, Ohio. This is the great thing about conference college basketball. The best teams in the conference right now in the MAC are not the teams up top in Toledo and Ohio. It's been Buffalo and Kent State. Both are neck and neck. They're starting to close on those teams. Buffalo has won 6 straight games, and you couldn't say that 2-3 weeks ago that Buffalo would make this type of surge. They're just playing great basketball. They're healthy right now. In Miami, Ohio, they have been one of the biggest letdown teams in mid-major college basketball this season. They're a horrible rebounding team, ranked 263rd in the country, and I think this line is small enough. Buffalo's starting to get those road favorite numbers that Toledo and Ohio used to get, and you can't trust right now. Buffalo, you can trust. They will win this game -5 against Miami, Ohio. And then Northeastern +1. This one for me is just a strong revenge game. They lost to Charleston earlier in conference play, 81-63. But prior to that loss, they had beat Charleston 5 straight times. I know Northeastern's record, 7-19, is not pretty, but they shortened the rotation. They used to play an 8-man rotation. They shortened it to 6 guys. I think that helps them avoid major letdowns here. And then you look at the rest of the season for them. 3 games left. It's going to be over at the end of this week. All of them are at home. I think they can concentrate and get a couple of wins to finish out the year.
I tell you what, nobody finds those little nuggets like you do when it comes to the small college basketball teams. All right, a couple of chat questions. And Buckets, I'm a little scared to do this. However, Georgie in the chat says, my book has a boost for both Champion League's games going over 2.5 plus 350. Worth a dart throw? Buckets, what do you think?
In my opinion, it is not worth even a dart throw for me. Like we talked a little bit about earlier, Juventus is a team that really will shut things down, and to where 1-1 is a very possible scoreline. And Chelsea, as Martin mentioned, has been dominant, but in recent form, they haven't been blowing them out of the water dominant. They've been very comfortable with 1-0 and 2-0 type of wins. So if you want to throw a dart at it, you can. I personally will not be, though.
All right, very good. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. Real quick, Chip, before we get to your pick, you or Zach can answer this one. Reed says, I'd love to see if either Zach or Chip are on the Sunflower Showdown, which is my favorite, being from Kansas myself. Either one of you have a take on this, look at this, anything?
I personally don't. I think you got to watch out for Kansas. They've had a couple of strong wins, and they were a little bit sluggish on Saturday against West Virginia. A couple of bad stretches, but they're playing good basketball right now. But that's not one that I'm personally going to touch.
Kansas State 7-2 against the spread in its last 9 road games. Pesky. It's a big number. Not something that I'm going to put on the site, not something that I'm going to have here on the early edge. But if you're asking for a Sunflower Showdown lean, I might lean in the way of the dog in the rivalry game. I mean, it's always fun, right?
It's always fun. By the way, little known fact, my point guard in high school went to Kansas State. Brian Henson, his older brother, Steve Henson, was an all Big 8 player. He was my point guard in high school.
Did y'all tear it up? One conference, one district?
State championships.
Come
on. Multiple state championships.
Love it.
Look it up. McPherson High School. Anybody can look it up. All right. Now, we've got all the chat out of the way. And everybody knows how much I covet the final spot on the show. Easy for me to say. So, Chip, I don't need to tell you. I don't need to go in this long dissertation on how important this spot is. You already know. So I'm just going to lean back. That was a song that was in my playlist. And listen to what you got. You're up.
Pull up my pants and do the rock away. Let's go. All right. We're going to start with UConn and Villanova. And look, UConn hasn't beaten Villanova since 2014. This is a series that Villanova has totally owned. And we're excited. It's back in the Big East. But I think that UConn is going to be able to win this game because they're going to be able to win inside. They're going to be able to be physical. Adama Sanogo is the name to know. I think he's going to be an absolute beast on the glass. And I think RJ Cole has a huge performance. And a big note here about Villanova. Villanova is playing hurt. We're not going to see him in the injury report. We're not going to see these key players necessarily popping up and missing a lot of time. But Colin Gillespie and Justin Moore are just playing hurt. And I think that has contributed to what we've seen recently, which is Villanova. Yes, they've won 8 of their last 9, but they've only covered the spread in 3 of their last 10 games. And I think that it is around the margins where they're just not totally healthy. They're not able to play to their peak. They may not for the rest of the season. They've also got Providence on deck for the first place in the Big East, maybe some look-ahead spot. I do like the Huskies getting a huge home win against an old Big East rival, so I'll lay the short number. And then the next one, Iowa and Michigan State. Let's take all the letters together. What do we have? No D. That's right. There is no D in Iowa and Michigan State. And this is particularly of note when Iowa is at home, because Iowa playing anywhere this season, the over is hit 73% of the time. But when they are playing at home, 81% of the time, the total goes over. They are 13-3 to the over at home. I really actually liked what I saw from Michigan State climbing back into that game. Tyson Walker finally being able to get out there and get buckets. Some of those younger players taking a step up. And then, Keegan Murray is an absolute stud. And so I will ride with a lot of points. I know 153.5 is a very big number, but sometimes, like we talk about in college football, I know it says 71, but there's going to be 80 on the board by the end of this game. And so I will go over the 153.5.
I wish I could bottle you up and just show you that every single capper analysis talent in America that's starting out right now. Understand there are levels to this game. You just saw 4 of them in the last 20 minutes. That's what we do. It's about energy. It's about positivity. It's about always going forward every single day, no matter whether you win or whether you lose, but we do it together. And my 4 guys do that better than anybody together. I freaking love you guys. Now we're up against it. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of AB on the 1s and the 2s. Today, Zach Attack, 2 plays, Buffalo -5. They have been a scoring machine, and they have been, when they get going, they are very, very hard to stop. You'll enjoy this Buffalo team if you get a chance to watch this game today. Then Northeastern plus the 1 also there. Then Chip is on UConn minus the 2. The Michigan State over 153.5. This will be a ton of fun to watch today. Then we're also going to stay in that Iowa game for the play from SportsLine. Iowa minus the 5.5. So we got the over and the game side. Then let's go to the pitch. And several of these games start in the afternoon, so don't miss. And by the way, the Turkey game starts at noon Eastern time. So Martin Green's on Chelsea. Villarreal draw no bet. Then Villarreal and Juventus, both teams to score. Then Buckets. He's on that Turkey game, both teams to score. Then Villarreal also backing up Martin W. Green. Then the AB3 today. Iowa money line. St. Bonaventure started to turn the tide around there. And Tennessee. Yes, they just came off a loss to Arkansas, but they are a really good basketball team as well. All right. My man Edwards and Jess says, good show today as usual. Best believe we hear you. We understand. We want the feedback. And we're going to put people on the show that want to be on the show. And that's all I'm going to say, because we're building something very special. And all of you deserve the absolute best from us. And I promise you, you will get it. So there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know. I would love to have Buckets do this one day. I really, really would. I really would. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire crew. Love them all. Chip, Zack Attack, Buckets, and of course the Guru. And AB on the ones and twos with the jeweler, always behind the scenes, making sure everything runs right. I am the coach. We're here 7 days a week, 365. Tell all your friends about the Early Edge. Good luck.